guy is terrific. And one of those nights where he seemed in control, throughout the game. I don't really remember a time where he didn't really look like, and that's going to happen when you pitch 6-7 innings. There's usually an inning where you go, man, you had to make a couple of good pitches really to get out of that jam, and he really didn't have that. It was really a great night, terrific night, on the mound for him, and even. At times, you could probably even say, look, better. In the last, couple innings, I thought the sinker, stayed down a lot more, and that can happen to guys when they get a tick tired, but it works for them. And so no, I thought he was outstanding.
He couldn't lobby y'all to stay in. It seemed like he was ready. He said he was still in go mode.
Yeah, and he was, and he probably could have went, but we just felt like VJ had been up. For a few innings, and if we were going to shoot that bullet, we probably needed to shoot that one. And why not bring him in in a clean inning, and not to extend. He's somewhere close to 90 pitches and 7 up downs already. That was enough with that lead. I felt it was time to go.
Is there any difference in Spencer just getting hot and throwing 4 pitches? I mean, for tomorrow potentially, is there a difference?
It probably, I don't think for him necessarily, and when you're getting to that point, I mean, he's getting hot to come in the game, so he's probably matching him for pitch. So if we don't bring him in, I know that's not exactly what you asked, but if we don't bring him in, he's probably throwing those 4 pitches that hard in there.
Yeah.
So, you got to get through the game, and at some point, we didn't want to use him, obviously, but at the end of the day, you don't want to beat yourself up. We won. We played well. We had tough last out. That kept us out here a little bit longer. I feel worse for BJ. I thought he was tremendous, and wish he would have been on the mound at the end. But it happens. And but no, I don't think it'll. I think it'll be fine. Ready to go tomorrow.
What have you seen since Saturday in Columbia to tonight to kind of spark this bounce back? Is it just the veteran team that knows how to kind of keep focus?
Yeah, I don't know. I think sometimes you guys look in, but you use words like focus and all of that. I mean, we didn't lose the games because we weren't focused. It wasn't because we didn't play hard or try. Sometimes it happens, and you want to look at statistically, we didn't hit it. That's for sure. But it's a team sport. There's plenty of games where we've hit and we didn't pitch well enough. So at the end of the day, there's ebbs and flows of the season. I know people don't like that, and I'm sorry for that, but it's part of it. Especially in our sport. That's why they play 162 in the big leagues, and you got to be able to get through the hot streaks and the slumps and all of that. But I think it's probably better what Brad said. About a mature team. Handling it, and where, we weren't playing very well, and then all of a sudden, you're playing pretty good again, and, that's good. I think they deserve that.
You guys look great second time through the order against their starter after not so much first time through.
Yeah, that's in, I think, just speaking on our guys, again, Brad said that it's a mature lineup, and it's one of the things that you guys have said, we've said, after these games of being able to do it throughout the lineup, to have different guys that can carry it tonight. Mormon in the 8-hole gets big home run and several hits, but you're exactly right. It didn't look like it was going to be our day. But good offenses do that. Good offenses can put an inning together and win the baseball game, and they did that. It started with Luke Hill's big hit up the middle, and I thought Furness maybe another, was it left on left, a punch to the left fielder, and the inning was on.
What do you think of Raymond's first pitch?
Terrific, man! Just so happy. We were looking for somebody to do it. He's been through so much. Everybody knows what he means to us in our program. But personally, he's been through a lot, with his wife Peggy and now himself. And so we love him, and he loves us. And it's so sincere, and it warms your heart. He's a really good guy.
Is Reuter healthy?
Yeah. He he's on the list, and but yeah, he just he hurt the back at South Carolina. We didn't even bring him to Pearl because we thought it'd probably do more harm than good to put him on a bus for 5 hours, 6 hours. So, but yeah, he's fine and he's good.
Okay. Thanks, Mike.